Okay, let's talk about data. Imagine you're a master chef, but instead of food, your ingredients are, well, data. To cook up something amazing, what we call business intelligence, you can't just randomly throw things in a pot. You need a recipe. So in this explainer, we're going to open up the cookbook and look at the essential recipes every single data chef needs to know, the core patterns of data integration.
So let me ask you this. Does it ever feel like your company's most valuable ingredients are just trapped? You've got your customer data in one kitchen, your sales data in another, and maybe website clicks in a third. It's a total mess. You can't possibly create a masterpiece when you can't even get all your ingredients onto the same countertop.
There's actually a name for this problem: data silos. These are just isolated systems that make it impossible to see the big picture. Think about it. It's like every department has its own private kitchen, and absolutely no one is sharing ingredients. What do you get? You get chaos, you get missed opportunities, and you get a really, really limited menu of insights. Right, so this is the core of the issue. How do we fix this data chaos? How do we turn all these separate, messy kitchens into one single, super efficient workshop? Well, we need a master technique, a foundational skill that every great data chef has to master. And that master technique is data integration. It's really the art of bringing all those raw ingredients together from all those different sources and combining them into something truly powerful. We're talking about a single, unified view that lets you make actually smart decisions. This is how you create your data masterpiece. So, what are we really trying to do here? What are the goals? First, we have got to break down those silos. Doing that lets us find insights that span the entire business. It also makes sure our data is high quality and easy to get to. And that powers everything, from your basic reports all the way to really sophisticated AI and automation. It's all about building that solid foundation.
Okay, so if data integration is our master technique, what are the specific recipes in the cookbook? Let's dive into the core patterns that every data chef absolutely needs to know. First up, we've got batch integration. I love this analogy. I call it the slow cook. Seriously, think of a stew that simmers all day long. You don't need it right this second. You prep it, you put it on a set schedule, and those flavors just develop over time. It is perfect for when you need that deep historical view of your data. So here's how that slow cook method works. Your data gets pulled from your source systems on a schedule, maybe once a day overnight. Then it gets transformed, cleaned up, structured properly, before it's loaded into a central data warehouse. This is the classic go-to approach for things like your end-of-month reports or those big BI dashboards. But what if you need results right now? For that, we need a totally different recipe: streaming integration, or as I like to call it, the flash fry. This is all about speed. You're cooking with super high heat and the ingredients are getting processed the very moment they hit the pan. And the flow here is completely different. Unlike batch, data is flowing continuously, all the time, from the source. It's ingested and processed in real time to give you immediate insights. Think about fraud detection alerts or those live product recommendations you see on a website. Those things can't wait for a nightly job to run. No way. They need the flash fry method. Our third recipe is a modern-day essential, API-based integration. Now, if batch and streaming are about moving huge amounts of ingredients around, think of APIs as having a direct phone line to another restaurant's kitchen to order a very specific, already prepared component. It's perfect for connecting modern cloud apps, like, say, pulling customer data directly out of Salesforce. And recipe number 4 is a really efficient one called change data capture, or CDC. So instead of recooking the entire meal from scratch every single time, CDC is smart. It only looks for what's new or what's changed, the new ingredients, and it just updates the recipe. This saves a ton of time and resources. It's fantastic for keeping databases in sync. All right, so we've got our slow cook and our flash fry. These are really the two most fundamental cooking styles in any data kitchen. So let's put them head to head, a little showdown to see exactly when you should use each one. So at a super high level, the trade-offs are pretty simple, right? Batch processing runs on a schedule, which means there's a delay. We call that high latency, but it's usually cheaper to run. Real-time, on the other hand, is continuous. It has very low latency for instant results, but yeah, that speed is going to cost you a bit more. Let's break this down even more. When you look at frequency, batch is scheduled, real-time is continuous. The biggest difference, and this is key, is latency. We're talking minutes or even hours for batch versus seconds or milliseconds for real-time. This means your choice really depends entirely on your use case. Standard BI reports? Batch is perfect. Training an AI model on live data?
You absolutely need real-time streaming, no question.
Okay, so theory is great, but what does a finished dish actually look like in the real world? Let's take a look at a retail company that combined these recipes to create something pretty amazing.
So here was their situation, a classic messy kitchen. They had live website click data streaming in from Kafka, they had historical sales data that needed that scheduled batch processing, and they had constantly updating customer info from Salesforce. Three totally different ingredients, all needing different cooking styles.
So how did they pull it off? They built a really smart pipeline. They used different tools to bring in each type of data. Kafka for that live website traffic, Fivetran to capture those customer updates. Then, all of this data was brought into a central platform like Databricks, where it could all be transformed and analyzed together. And finally, they used a tool like Power BI to build dashboards, giving them that single, unified view of their entire business. And what's the result of combining all these ingredients and all these recipes the right way? They achieved it. The holy grail of modern business, a true 360-degree view of their customer. For the first time, they could see the whole story, all in one place. And this is why it all matters. This unified view wasn't just some cool tech project. It had a huge business payoff. They could now run highly personalized marketing campaigns. They could power an AI to give much smarter product recommendations. And ultimately, they could just make faster, better decisions across the entire company. So how do you take all this and apply it to your own organization? Let's wrap up with a few simple rules of the kitchen to help you build your own smart data integration strategy. These are your go-to guidelines. It's pretty straightforward. Need a weekly sales report? Use batch. Need to detect fraud as it's happening? Go with streaming. Connecting to a cloud app? That's a job for an API. And keeping a backup database perfectly in sync? That's CDC all the way. The real key here is to match the recipe to the dish you're actually trying to make.
You know, at the end of the day, there is no single best recipe. The right strategy for you is always going to be a blend. It's going to be determined by what your business is trying to achieve, how fast your data is moving, and of course, any compliance rules you have to follow.
I just want to leave you with this one final thought. Data integration. It's not just about plugging pipes together. It is not just a technical task you hand off to the IT department. It is the absolute foundation upon which all business intelligence, all analytics, and all AI are built. Get your kitchen in order, and you can create absolutely anything.